welcome back to Build. I'm your host, Brittany Jones-Cooper. The CBS All Access comedy No Activity is one of the funniest shows on TV. In season 2, Detectives Cullen and Tolbeck, two low-level cops who have spent far too much time in a car together, stake out the seedy underbelly of a cockfighting ring. Today, I'll be joined by stars Tim Meadows and Cristin Milioti, but first, here's a trailer from No Activity.
Car 27, please report. Car 27.
Let's make this special. Do you want to just stare into each other's eyes for like a full minute? Starting now?
I already started.
Are you aware that we are in the midst of the biggest police corruption scandal this department has had?
That's a little cheese for a little mouse.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Me too.
Oh.
Mason, you little wallet. I need you like I need a nunchuck blow to the vagina. When I get home, you better not be there. I love you too. You sound just like my mother.
Stay with me.
I can't do it.
You can't. Just hop across.
Okay.
Good. Go. Go. Tolbeck! Oh! Tolbeck!
Officer down.
Do you have any idea what the cartel would do if they found out how inept you are at your job? Bet! Bet! Bet!
I'm gonna die at the headshot. I'm not gonna feel either of the two shots.
Let's just go. We can be in Mexico by morning.
We can be in Mexico in 20 minutes. The border's right there.
You're right. I was thinking of the Texas border.
I'm a platinum star gay, Danny.
Congratulations. Good for you.
I've never even touched vagina, which is pretty hard to do when you're a male cheerleader in college.
Shouldn't you like to cook?
I do, but I feel like whatever I say now, the next question's gonna be, did you cut her up?
Did you?
No.
Hey, if the knife fits, as they say.
Who says that?
We're gonna clear your name. At least I know I can handle the joint. I figured I'd be the prison, but, you know, it's not my first choice.
The gets by a whole bunch of guys.
Yeah, that's why it's not my first choice.
Give it up for Cristin Milioti and Tim Meadows.
Hi.
Guys, I am obsessed with this show. I'm your newest, biggest fan, I think. It's so funny and silly, and it was such a refreshing show to watch. Season 2 just premiered on CBS All Access. So how is it gonna be the same or different from season 1? Tim, I'll give that to you.
Well, I think season 1, the scenes were longer and more character driven, and I think this one is more story driven. It's and the scenes are shorter. I guess that's one way of describing it. But it's I think this one it's more scenarios and story. It really develops. And just speaking as a performer on the show, the way the show is shot, we don't see each other.
Yeah.
So all of my scenes, I do my whole season in about 5 to 6 days. So we just film all day, and so it's a treat for me to watch the show because I don't know the other storylines, and so I'm like you or anybody else. I become a fan of watching the show play out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do spend a lot of your time in a car.
Yeah.
What are those scenes like? Is that an actual car? Is it a set? And do you get bored?
I do yes to all of those questions. I do. I get. It's a real car. We're sitting in the studio in Los Angeles. It gets really hot because it's a very cheaply done show. So it's not like we have the best air conditioning. And also, just as an actor, I'm not really good at handling props, and I try to steer away from picking up something and drinking during the scene, just because I'm clumsy, and so you have to do a lot of takes where I'm redoing things, But so it's fun for me to just sit in the car and just act with Patrick.
Yeah. And Cristin, your character Frankie, she startled me so many times with the things that came out of her mouth.
Yeah.
So how would you describe Frankie to people who haven't seen the show?
I would say that Frankie is a woman that's determined to show that she can't be messed with at all and has to sort of work overtime because she works for the cartel and is they kind of do the she's I'm a woman in business, except her business is drugs, cockfighting, and murder. And yeah, she's just incredibly foul-mouthed and a little bit psychotic. And it was the most fun to play.
And
Yeah. It was
and
a blast.
You play opposite Jason Mantzoukas,
yeah.
who in a lot of the movies I've seen him, he's the most outrageous character in the scene, right?
Yeah.
But you really get him in this one.
Thank you.
Yes.
I've known Jason for many years, so that was also like a real treat. I first met Jason, we did like a short film together years ago, and I've just known him for a long time, and they really let us go like full cuckoo banana pants to the walls in a way that like I have not experienced on a set before. It was so much fun.
Let's talk about the script. How much of it is improv or ad-libbing? I know, Tim, you have a history with improv. So do you have to read the lines and then do they give you time to then just play?
Yeah, like this year it was scripted differently this year, so it was a lot of learning it as it was written, because like I said, the storyline was really important, and it was important for us to get out certain information in the scenes that I'm in because it might affect other scenes later. But Trent, our director and one of the creators, Trent O'Donnell, we would do the scene as it was written. And then for me, he would say, okay, do another one and just have fun with it. And sometimes I felt inspired while we were filming something without getting their permission. So sometimes I'd feel inspired in the moment, and I would say what I was actually thinking while we were shooting it. Like there was a scene where I started talking about the fact that I didn't have a personality, my character. Not Tim Meadows. I have a personality. But my character doesn't have a personality, and then he starts talking about what it would be like to be at a party with him and other people without personalities. Like he said, Jennifer Lawrence doesn't have a personality, and it would be a very boring conversation. And then I started improvising what the conversation would be like, which was just, yeah, I'm Detective Tolbeck, what's your name? Oh, I'm Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, this is boring. You know, I just started improvising a little. And then they kept it on the show. And I was very happy when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's great. I actually did something funny that they liked, and they kept it.
Given your comedic background, is that something you look for in a show or a script? Is something that kind of opens you up to being able to do improv and ad-libbing?
No, I much rather the writers do their job and write the show that they're going to write. I always tell them don't write for me. Like, let me, as an actor, let me do what you want me to do, because I just feel like it's my job to get what they have written on the paper actually on the screen. But I don't know. I go back and forth because sometimes I don't want to improvise because that means that I got to actually do more work than I was planning on, and I don't want to do that. You know, and it's also asking you to actually write. You know, so, but if it's somebody that I'm inspired by, or, you know, then it's easier. Like Trent and Patrick, the guys on this show, it's easy to improvise for them because they know how to put it together, you know.
And Cristin, what was your experience like with the script, seeing it for the first time and kind of taking in the dialogue?
Oh, I mean, I like fell in love with it. And I know Jason and I did like a ton of improv, but it was really, really collaborative. I mean, Jason's like an improv ninja. I don't even know what. Like he's the type of person who like we would have a scene and he'd be like, what's the game of this scene? And I'd be like, what? Like, and he would just be like, toss the script aside. But it was so collaborative. Because it was Trent, Patty, and then Nina Pedrad. And Nina is one of my closest friends. And I've known Jason for years. And then I feel like I became friends with Patty and Trent. And it was just this like amazing, it was like a comedy cauldron where you would just be on the set being like, what is the most ridiculous thing that could happen in this moment? And of course, like all the jokes were already in the script. Everything is like really incredibly structured. The jokes are so funny. But then I don't know, I don't feel like there's not a lot of knocks on my door to be like, do you want to play a crazed psychopath, and do you want to just like improvise a ton of stuff? So I was like, yes, always and forever. It was so much fun. I can't even tell you.
That's why Frankie got me, because I've never seen you in a role like this, and I was like, she's got a potty mouth. I like this. It's just so much fun.
Well, and that's like another fun part too. I mean, I don't know. It was just like a lot. They really like gave us free reign, where they were like, say whatever you want, and we will like find a way around it if it doesn't work, or if it's like, you know, yeah.
And the cast is really just stacked. I mean, Amy Sedaris.
Yeah.
Can we talk about I know you don't get to work opposite her in scenes, but when you go back and you watch the show, are you just like, she's genius?
I think, well, I mean, I've known Amy for a long, long time. We were both hired at Second City's touring company back in the mid 80s, I want to say. But so we actually started out together, and she is just she's crazy is best way to describe her. Even more than a genius, like she's insane, and she's in a profession where people love her insanity. I mean, this is just one character for her, I mean, she is a million different characters. Somebody coming in?
Yeah.
What's going on around
They're
here?
leaving, I think.
Yeah, they weren't interested.
I don't like Amy Sedaris. I'm leaving.
Her brand isn't for me, and I'm out of here. Yeah.
But no, so yes, and like I was saying, watching the show, I don't know what's going to happen with those guys. So when I watch the show, watching her work is great. The one scene where she tells there's some hitmen or snipers from the LAPD or from the San Diego Police Department in the show, and she does a long run where she just tells them that they're horrible. I can't even describe how funny it is and how dirty it is. But she is amazing. You have to see this show. That's all I can tell you. Like, it's one of the things. I've done a lot of stuff and I've been around for a long time, but it's one of the things that I'm most proud of. Yeah.
And the guest stars you guys have on this season is next level as well.
The cast is insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It just, and like, I don't know. I mean, I only got to work with, mostly Jason, but then a little bit with Tim, like on that one night at like 2 in the morning, and then Matt Walsh too, who's like incredible. And I just couldn't believe. I mean, it really felt like summer camp or something, but in a way that you should watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but I mentioned some of the guest stars you have in the second season, and Jessica Alba, again, never seen Jessica Alba like this.
Yeah.
She was so funny and like she was a psychopath.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You shoot with her in the scene that I'm talking about.
Right.
What was that experience like? Because it really like escalates very quickly.
Yeah, it was really funny, and for me, one of the most surprising like moments for me in show business was to realize Jessica Alba was really, really funny. Because she doesn't come across as like, and so we do this scene where, I don't want to give too much away, but she's an actress who comes for a ride along in our car. And then it turns out that she has a really bad temper, I guess is the best way to describe the scene. And she convinces us to do something where we give total power to her. And then, yeah, you have to see it. Yeah. But she knocked it out of the park. And when we shot it, it's a scene where she makes one of us do something that we don't want to do. And when we shot the scene, I have to sit there and watch it happen. And when it ended, I had tears coming out of I was crying from holding back my laughter. So I don't want to ruin the scene. But she was, I would say it was like Christopher Walken almost. Like, you don't know Christopher Walken is as funny as he is until you see him. And then you go, oh, that guy is friggin' funny, Yeah. That's how it was with Jessica Alba.
Yeah, my jaw dropped. Has there been a moment for you on set where you just couldn't hold back the laughter, or can you remember a day that was just like hard to get through because it was so fun?
Literally every day. No, truly. Like, we shot most of our stuff, I think, in like 4 or 5 days or something. It's like really, really fast, and you do like 30 pages a day. It's like really, like you just are in it. But Jason is one of the funniest people I've ever encountered in my life. And we would, because they gave us free reign. In fact, one of my proudest moments I've ever had on a set was with this, because I broke him, which like is like a huge badge of honor. And it just was, we couldn't get, there was huge swaths of takes that we couldn't get through. Or at least, you know what, he's actually more professional than I am, because he I couldn't get through. I was laughing so hard. It's just it is such a special show. And I think that also, like, every cast member, they're so collaborative. They really, I know I keep saying this, but they really give you free reign to explore, which is like your dream as an actor. It's great.
You mentioned sort of, it's a very stripped down show.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of bells and whistles, but it can only be so good because the writing and the acting are so good, because it
Yeah.
really is, all the scenes take place in like kind of one room. And so is that something that was appealing to you? I know with the theater too, like just getting to play with one person in a space and not having all this stuff around.
Oh, it was so appealing. There's a scene where they just put us in like a wide shot and they were like, just do this like you're just performing it live. I mean, not that, you know, I guess that's, as I say that out loud, I'm like, you know, like what acting is. But like we could go nuts. We could move around as much as we wanted. Like the stripped down aspect of it is what's, is really helpful. Yeah, I don't know. It is like so special, and it was such a special experience. And also because like one of my closest friends is on it as well, and she's like a joke genius. And it felt like one of those moments where I kept turning to Nina and being like, can you believe that like we do this for a living and people had to show up to like light this? And here we are, and it's so much fun and like so twisted. It's great. I don't know if I answered your question. I feel like I just went on a rant about
Cool,
my
I
friend.
don't remember the question.
Okay,
so
great.
It's
Yeah.
not important. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Is there a season 3 in the works yet? Because I want more.
Yeah, I don't know. I would hope that there would be, because it's not I don't know what the cost of the show. I would imagine is pretty cheap, like maybe $1,000 an episode.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know much about production or production costs, but I would say it's probably
$1,000.
That's about $8,000 to produce the whole season.
Yeah, I think so.
I could produce it if they want.
We could
they
roll
don't have
it.
money.
Yeah.
Got a roll of quarters that can
Yeah.
contribute.
Yeah.
We could crowdsource the next season if we have to.
Yeah.
But then we have to also write it. So if you guys got any, I don't have any ideas.
Yeah.
I do love, though, that the second season, they released all together so you could binge watch it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is the perfect show to binge watch because you really get into, it lets you really get into these little worlds.
Yeah,
very quickly.
we were talking about this before because I had not seen Kristen's side of with the cockfighting stuff. And so I was telling her, like, I thought she was the best part of the season. You know, she was
so funny.
It was so great. I mean, I'm serious. Like, you have to watch it if you get a chance because it's so great. What was the question? I forgot.
Yeah.
I was talking about it being binge-worthy and that
Yes,
people can
and so
watch it all.
what that's what I would do is like I sat and watched 4 episodes. I took a break and then I watched the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because as a viewer, at the end of every episode, I was like, I want to see what's going to happen next with them or with Amy's character. You know.
It is so rare, I feel like, these days because we're so oversaturated to find a show, especially like a half-hour comedy, that you're like, oh, I'm going to watch all 8 episodes today.
Yeah.
And
It's just like, boop.
yeah, I got through the 5 and I only stopped because I had to.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait to go back and finish it. So you guys totally nailed it. I love the show. Make sure you check it out. I want to talk to you guys also about other things you have going on because you guys are all both so multifaceted. So I know you...
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We actually were talking this morning about Modern Love now being turned into a series on Amazon, and I know you're a part of that.
Yeah, I just wrapped that like 2 weeks ago. It was such an incredible experience with John Carney, who I had met years ago because he directed and wrote the movie of Once, but we'd like met at like an opening night. I think the opening night of the play of Once, but for like 2 seconds. And then he reached out and asked me to do an episode of it, and I had like such a great time. Yeah, I really am very excited to see that. And that cast is also like beyond. Yeah.
And the stories are so moving. I cannot wait to watch it.
The stories are so moving, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it. I really really moved me a lot, and in the way that podcast and that column works, like it's not the type of love that you expect, which I thought was so wonderful.
And you have a lot of fans from your theater and singing career as well. So do you have any new music?
My mom, my dad. Yeah, I do. I'm going to be doing a show at Largo in LA next week. It's my first time playing there. I'm so excited.
I'll be in LA next week.
Do you want to come?
Yeah, I would love to come.
Really?
Yes.
It's a week from today.
One night?
One night.
Okay.
And it's just me at the piano.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm so excited already.
Oh, and Nina's going to be there.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
It'll
Nina
be-
will be there. Nassim will be there.
I'll be there.
Okay, you'll be there?
All right, and a week from tonight. I
week
gotta
from
remember
tonight.
that because
I'm gonna
I
give
will
you
be
the
in
info.
LA.
Yeah, it's I play. It's like half covers and then half originals, and I have a wonderful guitarist with me as well. And then I'm doing a weekend here in January at Joe's Pub, which I do like 2 weekends there a year.
I'll come to that one.
Please do
Yeah,
come to
'cause I
that
will be
one.
you do the LA, I'll do the
Okay.
New York.
Great.
And we'll compare notes.
Okay,
See,
great.
we'll-
and then
we'll
you
talk
guys
to
can forward me the notes.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate that.
Music. We think you should cut these songs.
Yeah.
My notes are very important.
Yeah, exactly. This just didn't pop.
Yeah.
You know?
Do more Frank Sinatra type
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
And Tim, what else do you have going on?
I'm doing another show with ABC, and it's called Schooled. It's a spinoff of the Goldbergs. Yay! Thank you guys. Please calm down.
You played a school counselor on the Goldbergs, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so
he gets promoted to principal in the spinoff. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's so rare now that happens. I'm serious. Like, you hardly ever hear about shows spinning off from each other. Oh, well, Breaking Bad spun off. Okay, I'll shut up. I know nothing.
Joey?
Yeah, there's an.
Well, Joey's not the example. That's not like the example you rush to. Yeah. No,
Joey.
Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul is a
Call
better
Saul.
example.
Yeah.
Jesus
No
Christ.
disrespect.
Joey.
Yeah.
But yes, so I'm going to do. I'm doing that right now. We had 13 episodes that'll be done. I'm touring around the country. I'll be in Orlando at the Improv this weekend.
Stand up?
Yes, doing stand up.
I didn't know you did stand up.
Yes, I've been doing stand up for about 8 to 10 years. It's like a prison sentence almost. 8 to 10 years. I got to remember to say that in my act this weekend. And so I'm doing that. I did an episode of this show, Rob Riggle's Jet Ski Academy, which is on Crackle. I have 3 shows. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When you get divorced, you tend to work more to pay for child
Bills
support.
to pay.
Hey,
But also-
it's true. Trust me, sir. You'll find out one day.
You are so...
I feel like Don Rickles all of a sudden. Hey, you over there with the... Okay.
Yeah. Tell my ex-wife or whatever. You can take that for Orlando if you'd like.
I could thank you very much.
You're also so funny and insanely talented, and I think we just want to keep seeing more of you. That's my personal
Oh, thank you
opinion.
very much.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very sweet of you.
And I'm happy to see you back playing a high school principal, like in Mean
I
Girls.
can't
That's good for my
escape it.
soul.
I can't escape playing the principals of high schools. Yeah, Mean Girls, like Tina Fey, she set my course for the next 10 years of my life, you know.
You're like, thank you?
Yeah, exactly. Sorta, thank you.
All right, I think we have a couple of questions from the audience.
Yeah.
Who do we have first?
Hi.
Hi. You're coming too close. 2 steps back, please.
I was very clear, no eye contact.
Yeah.
Must remain
Fair.
at least 8 feet away.
Please look at the floor.
I wanted to know, since this cast is filled with a bunch of amazing and hilarious people like yourselves, I wanted to know if you would have any more guest star, any guest stars in the future seasons. Who would you like to come on board?
Dead or alive?
Good question. Good.
Alive? Alive.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it harder to think. Because you're dead, I would say Albert Einstein, maybe, would be funny to have.
Yeah.
He's hilarious. Thank you. Who I would like to have as a guest star? I don't know. I mean, I enjoy working with friends as well. And, you know, but I mentioned Christopher Walken earlier. He's somebody that I would love to see performing, and I would love to see him in something on the show. Who else would I like? My friend Matt Besser, who's a UCB guy. I would love to see him do something on the show.
I would like to. I'm only a guest star on this season, so I'd like to be a guest
But
star.
we'll
again.
still allow you to. Hey,
To come back.
what happened? We'll still allow you to.
To come back?
Well, you can come back, or you can suggest other people to be on the show.
No, just me.
Okay.
No, and who would I like? Someone I really like the really unexpected, like Helen Mirren. Like
Yeah.
Helen Mirren playing like a topless criminal or something. Do you know what I mean? Like something where you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Or like someone who
Like
who plays,
Taylor
like-
Swift or somebody like that.
Yeah, who's like you wouldn't expect to go.
Yeah. Who else?
Very specific.
Or like Colin Firth or someone. I'm just picturing regal British people.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yeah. All English actors.
Only English people. Yeah.
But they can't be English on this show.
No, they
You
have to be American or
yeah.
they're not allowed. on
And then we make them be different types of Americans. Like you're a country guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to do a
and
Southern
you're like
accent.
from Long Island, and then it's Michael Caine being like,
Good day. He,
Yeah,
he just turned into an Australian. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, yeah. I just almost was like, sorry.
Who's next with the questions?
Next question.
We will take questions from these 12 people.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been trying to do stand-up for like about 4 years now, and I'm just wondering, as performers, what is your process for trying to figure out a way to elevate yourselves and the material that you work with so that it is unique and not derivative, or as derivative as it might be?
Well, do you want to go first?
Sure.
While I think about answers?
Yeah, sure. I think I understand. I'll start answering, and then you tell me if I'm like off course here. Like, I think that it's like maybe, and I don't know what stand-up is like, but you know, when I like do these concerts, I like talk a lot, and I talk about how like the songs apply to my life or like my experiences as a human in the world. And I think that the more you are your most authentic self, which like I know sounds like it comes from a t-shirt, you know, but like I think the more that you actually describe your own experience, like that is what's funny. That is the thing that people want to see, and that's the thing that only you can provide. And I guess that's like the best way I can describe like not what you think people want to hear or not what you think people want to see or read or listen to, but actually like what moves you. Because if you're being moved and if you're having a good time, we are too. Like, I think I read it in Amy Poehler's book, maybe, about like you can't be an idiot if you're having fun. Like if you're having a good time, you can't be embarrassed because it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I know I'm misquoting it wildly, but.
Well, I don't know, but I think that's close enough to the quote. Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's true. If you are having fun and it's not bad. I don't know. I mean, I agree with the more personal it is, the more original it is. And like your viewpoint is different from everybody else's. So it'll be something original about it. I think you also have to be willing to be negatively critiqued for trying something different or new. I do this character, the ladies' man, that I used to do on SNL a long time ago. And like when I do stand-up, I know people want to see it because that's one of the things they know me from. And so at the end of the show, I do a bit where I'll do the ladies' man, but I don't do it facing the audience. I turn my back to the audience and do it in
Like
the
Sia.
microphone. Yeah. And because I've been criticized by critics locally in papers that like, well, he turned around and turned his back to the audience. But to me, that's funny. That you've sat through a show where you've seen me talk to you for 45 minutes, and in the last 10 minutes, the thing that you want to see the most, I turn my back to you so you don't see it.
Yeah.
And I think if you can hate it, that's fine. But like to me, I think it's nobody. I don't think there's any stand-up that turns his back to the audience while they're performing. But I stick to it. I don't just because I've been criticized. I don't go, okay, I shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because every night that I do it, I go, almost cursed. Every night that I do it, I go, fuck, this is so fun.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah. I think
that makes me want to come to the show.
Oh, yeah, good. Well, I'll do it.
That's so
if
fun.
you're in Orlando this weekend, I'll be doing that bit and a lot more.
Cool. And last question.
We have an online question. Do you have a favorite line from your character on the show?
Oh, my God.
For me, I think, can we do each other's lines? Or do we have to do our own line?
Whatever. Each other's.
My favorite line from that episode, from their storyline, was I'm the daddy.
Yeah.
And then you have to see it to see
Yeah,
that.
we have like a very twisted sexual dynamic.
Yeah.
Which was also going to be one of my favorite things. My favorite
I'm
line.
sorry.
No. My favorite line. I mean, I don't know. I like my favorite line of Tim's. There was one in the night that we were shooting outside where you're like trying to remember his name. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't remember. You're trying to tell Matt what Patty's name is? You don't remember
Sorry,
that?
no.
Okay.
Maybe we were improvising during that.
Maybe
point.
you were improvising.
I don't know. Sorry, everyone. We're
Sorry.
thinking for a
I'm
second.
so sorry. We can just sit here in silence.
That just got awkward.
This is, I know.
I'm sorry,
This is a
guys.
real, yeah. I
like-
also love the line about being a prison bitch and how it's not your first choice.
Yeah, that's probably was my other favorite line.
It was a gem, and they used it in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the first season, I laughed hard at one thing that I said. I improvised it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a joke, but it just made me laugh. Was that Pat's character was criticizing my hair, and he goes, I don't even notice that you get a haircut, and I go, yeah, I get a haircut almost every other week, and he goes, what do you call this? And I go, it's a baby afro. And it wasn't in the script. And he's from Australia. He had no idea what a baby afro was.
Yeah.
And he just like looked at me and then just kept moving on. But when I saw that, I laughed because I was like, I don't think I've ever heard somebody say baby afro on television before.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Until now.
Baby afro.
Yeah.
Well, I have so many favorite lines from the show, but I'm not going to give them away. You guys have to check out No Activity for yourselves. It is definitely worth the ride. Season 2 is available now on CBS All Access. Please give it up for Cristin and Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.